Hey, Teach Now Family, this is Double Boom. We're doing instructional strategy, just going through how we plan a lesson for the day.
All
This
right.
is a famous Miss Abbott. Everybody say hello, Miss Abbott.
Hi, y'all. Happy Friday.
All right, so this is pretty much how we plan our day.
All right. Yesterday, by the end of the day, I could see where students were, what you had been through them with, and how where we were at in our lessons. So I kind of took that and just jotted down a few things, and plus a couple of housekeeping things that we need to get done to make sure they're staying on task. So I listed that they're going to do a notebook check.
Okay.
And they also need to do test corrections if they scored below an 80, because I think that's important as far as their state exams. They can go back and look at what they corrected. And we still have a couple of students that haven't taken a test, so that's okay. And once they all get finished, we'll probably look at the data that's in SchoolNet and go over a few things just to make sure everybody's on the same page, because I found that when looking at the data, and I will be glad to share that with you too, where I'm getting that from. That even though they scored well, it was those same couple of questions when you were going over the study guide
Okay.
that I kept seeing that they were missing. Even though we took time to emphasize it again, they just still didn't make a connection. So we're gonna spend some time probably next week. We don't really. I want to give these other students time to get their test made, or take their test rather. So we're going to do a notebook check right off the get-go. We're going to assign the test corrections that they can do after you finish the instruction for lesson 5, because you don't have much in lesson 5 to finish from what you covered yesterday.
Okay.
So complete that, and then the rest of the day will pretty much be a work day for these kids to practice what you taught them yesterday, and for some of these others to get caught up. So, and the other thing that they need to do, again, a good housekeeping day, is to print the letters and memos that they did last Friday when I was out, and they've had almost a whole week to complete anything from that day. So that's pretty much what we're going to do today as far as Friday goes, kind of getting in that shut down, tie up loose ends mode. So we'll be ready to start again on Monday with something fresh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Never Boom concluding planning of instructions with Miss Abbott. Thank you very much. Have a great day. I'm ready to rock and roll. Y'all ready to rock and roll? We got a lot going on. A lot going on. All right, we're going to be discussing page breaks, page layouts, page orientations, breaks. We got a lot to cover. So make sure you have your notes, have your just have your notes out and your pencils and everything. Because a lot of things I'm gonna cover, you're gonna have to write some stuff down. You're gonna learn about hyphenations, line numbers, and widows and columns. All right. Before we get started, I'd like for you to go in Abbott's folder. First, get a pencil and paper real fast. I want you to write down draft proposal. That's one of the files you're going to get. Write it down real quick. Draft proposal. So I don't have to say it like 4 times. That's one of the files you're going to look up. Draft proposal. So draft proposal. Employment offer letter. And check-in document. So draft proposal, employment offer letter, and check-in document. All right. Make sure you can create a lesson 5 folder if you want. Save it, and when you have it, give me a thumbs up so we can start rolling. Also, make sure you have your uh, your paper out so we can take notes together. Okay. We're gonna go through this pretty fast, and you should be able to learn some other things. It's pretty much going over a lot of lesson 1, but more in depth. So just be prepared. Alright, just make sure you the first document that we're gonna have open all three, keep them low. But the first one we're gonna kick it off with is proposal. I want you to upload all these things so we could just keep going without pausing. Got them all? You have all three of them down? All right, good. All right, the first one we're gonna work on is proposal. Y'all ready? Yeah. What about you, Walker? Banyas? Almost. You got yours? Okay. I want to show you something if I could show it real fast. Alright, just something get your mind on before we start rocking and rolling. And this is how it is, like we're dealing with bricks, borders, columns, and everything.
There was a time when babies had a great life. The softness of their skin got them all their mom's attention. Then one day, fathers discovered a special weapon. From now on, fathers and sons can fight on equal terms. Men can now take revenge and win back their wives.
3, 2, 1. The line is ready. Expression and sweat is steady. You never thought it come to this. Never knew just how heavy. Just in the shade. Same the same. The aim is gate. Reaching the wall of fame. Clashing on the mic. Flashing lights in the face. Bashing in the fight. Smashing on the bass. Fat bass. It's not funny. Taking scrap as serious as ever. He works on the art as he grows even faster.
To get their moms back, there's no choice but to fight.
The eye of the kitten slapping steaks in the kitchen. All beat, no food, nothing but nothing.
Fight for kisses.
Alright. You like that? Well, I like it. Did y'all like it or not? Alright.
Want to play? Yeah, sure. That's why we're here.
Alright. I'll try to give y'all something.
That's why we're here.
Alright, let's get it going.
Look.
Alright, first thing, open up your draft proposal.
Migraines steal moments from.
It takes a lot to come up with some stuff for y'all, man. Some of y'all don't. Reading y'all face expression is like looking at a dead tree, man. Alright, let's go. Alright, alright, this is gonna be pretty fast. I'm gonna try to go as fast as we can. Alright, do your document look like mine, right? Okay. You prefer lights on, lights off? Alright, do you have your paper out? Less than 5 terms? Got it, right? Alright. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is alright, I know the first question is what type of commands are in your page layout. You got your margins, you got your orientation, size, you got your columns, you got your breaks, you have your line number, your hyphenation. These are inside of your page layout tabs. Alright, your settings page layout. The layout of a page, it helps communicate your message. Although the content of your document is obviously is important, having appropriate margins, page orientations, and paper size all contribute to the document readability and appearance. That might actually answer question 2 and 3. I hope you're taking notes. The layout of your page helps communicate your message, and having appropriate margins, page orientation, and paper size all contributes to the document's readability and appearance. Alright, set in margins. Margins are white space that borders the top, bottom, and side of your document. You can change margin from the word default size 1 inch using commands in your page setup on groups in the page layout tab. Alright, see here, your page, your margins. Alright, let's begin. We're going to open up the proposal file in your lesson. We're going to delete the extra space on top of USA. So there shouldn't be no space. It should be all the way flushed all the way to the top. On your page layout tab in your page setup group, we're going to click the drop down arrow to display the margin menu. We're going to choose narrow. The margins are set at 0.5 from top, bottom, left, and right. In your page setup group, we're going to click the drop down arrow to display the margins menu. Then we're going to click customs margin to open up the page setup dialog box. We're going to change the bottom left, right, and the bottom left and right margins to 1 inch. So the bottom, left, and right to 1 inch. But we're going to change the top to 2 inch. See, changing the margins affect all pages with the document, within the document. When you have it, just click OK. Alright, this should probably answer another question. Selecting a page orientation. Make sure you're looking at your notes. A document orientation determines what direction the text extends across the page. In your page orientation, which is commonly used for business documents, text extends across the shorter length of the document. And your landscape orientation, which is commonly used for brochures, graphics, tables, and so on. I guess that answers the question with 2 types of orientation, which you could tell right here. Got 2 types of orientation here. Alright, now in the page setup group of the page layout tab, we're going to click the drop down arrow to display the orientation. And we're going to select landscape. If I'm going too fast, please let me know, and I definitely will slow down. I'm having no problem doing that. Alright, then you're not going to click, you could just save it if you want. Just click save. Alright, good. Alright, next thing we're going to do, We're gonna go in the page setup group within our page layout tab, and we'll click the drop down arrow to display the orientation menu, and we're gonna select portrait. That's the original default setting. The orientation changed back to portrait from the previous exercise. From the page layout group, we're going to click the drop down arrow to display the size, and we're going to select legal. Alright, we're going to return to the document, and we're going to click the page layout tab, and then we're going to click the drop down arrow of the size, and we're going to select we're going to select letter, which is our default setting again. Now this should answer another question. We'll go back to your notes real quick. Working with breaks. Word automatically starts a new page in long documents when the text reaches the bottom of the page. There may be times, however, when you work with documents that contain various objects or special layouts that require you to control where a page or section breaks. So that should answer. A page is the location in a document where one page ends and a new page begins. Break. That's right under two types of orientation. Page break. All right. Y'all still with me? Also, you can insert and remove these manual page breaks and section breaks, and you can control the word hyphenation and set non-breaking spaces in your word. Alright, next section we're going to work with is inserting and removing a manual page break. A page break is the location in a document where one page ends and a new page begins. You can let Word determine where the break will occur, and you can also decide where to insert the manual page break or set specific options for those page breaks. Alright, this would be another question, another answer to your question. Manual page breaks displays a single dotted line with the words page break in the center. When you enable the show hide button, when you enable the show hide button, alright, y'all ready? Thumbs up, ready? Alright. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back to our document, and we're going to delete all lines above proposal description. Alright, so it should be as close as you can to the next paragraph. Alright, in the insert tab, in the page group, we're going to click the page. We're going to click the page break button. Bless you. A manual page break is inserted and the proposal description is forced to the next page. Alright, y'all, are you with me? Alright, once you click on your page break, click on next page. What happened? Oh, alright. We're not far anyway. Alright, do your page look like mine? Do you have a page break setting on there? You should at least have one. Do you have at least one page break? If not, I'll go over it again. Make sure your insertion button is right by P. Click on brakes. Scroll down to the next page and click it. Wait, we got another one lost?